What's up guys? The next video in the Naxxramas boss guide. With both Vesuvius and Gothic down, that leaves only one boss encounter left in the military quarter. Buckle up, because it's time for the infamous Four Horsemen. Let's get into it. The Four Horsemen consist of Sir Zeliek, High Lord Mograine, Thane kel'thuzad, and Lady... French name I can't pronounce, so let's call her Lady B in this one, with each one having a different ability. Thane kel'thuzad will target a nearby player and drop a big ol' meteor on them, splitting the damage between all nearby players. The group fighting Thane should be stacked tightly so that the damage spreads out evenly. A greater fire protection potion can be used here to help mitigate the damage. Lady B will spawn void zones, which are small black circles on the ground. Don't stand in these and you'll be good to go. Sir Zeliek has a chain lightning type ability called Holy Wrath. This goes out every 12 seconds, hitting the tank and bouncing to any player within 5 yards of the tank, doubling in damage every time it jumps. Melee DPS will just completely stay out on this horseman so that they don't die. Ranged and healers will need to stand at max range so that they don't get hit by Holy Wrath and wipe the raid. High Lord Mograine has Righteous Fire, which is a chance on hit ability that does a large amount of fire damage to the tank. The Mograine tanks should have some fire resist on to help mitigate this damage. Now the main mechanic of this fight are the marks that each horseman have. These marks will start to be cast 20 seconds into the fight and will be cast every 12 seconds after that. It is an AoE that hits all players in a 60-yard radius and cannot be avoided by line of sight. These debuffs stack, doing more and more damage each time it is applied, and it cannot be dispelled, but the damage can be mitigated by a greater shadow protection potion. In the middle of the room at the front of the platform is a safe spot that is out of range of all the horsemen. Tanks and DPS will stand here when waiting for their rotation and for their mark stacks to fall off. Also, whenever a horseman dies, a spirit of that horseman will be summoned that will keep applying the marks after death. Now that we know the abilities, let's walk through the fight. Each role has a very specific rotation that they will need to follow in this fight, so let's go over each one individually. On the initial pull, the four horsemen will each be pulled into a corner of the room. Lady B into the top left, Sir Zeliek into the top right, Thane to the bottom left, and Mograine to the bottom right. They will need to be tanked by 4 of the 8 tanks needed for this fight, with the other 4 waiting in the safe area in the middle of the room. Let's also color code the tanks so that it's a little easier to see what's going on. After the pull and once 3 marks go out, the yellow and green tanks will go in and taunt the horsemen, and the red and blue tanks will go back to the safe spot. Once another 3 marks go out, the red and blue tanks will go back in and taunt the horsemen off, only this time they will go to the opposite horseman. This is because they will still have the marks on them from the original horseman they were tanking. So if I'm one of the red tanks and I'm taking Thane first, I will rotate to the safe spot at 3 marks, rotate onto Mograine at 6 marks, back to the safe spot at 9 marks, and back onto Thane at 12 marks. The DPS will follow the same rotation. The red and blue DPS groups will start on the boss, while the yellow and green wait in the safe spot. At 3 marks they will rotate, with the bottom left group on Thane making sure they are stacking to spread out the meteor damage. At 6 marks they will rotate again, but this time onto the boss they weren't originally attacking. Thane and Mograine are the 2 hardest horsemen of the 4, and all the DPS will be focused on them before moving to the other 2 and following the same rotation. Now the healers will follow a very different rotation. First, you will need 3 healers in each corner of the room. Every time a mark goes out, 1 healer from each group will rotate to the boss on their right. So if I'm in the yellow healer group, I will rotate to the next boss at marks 1, 4, 7, 10, and so on. And if I'm in the green healer group, I'll move on marks 2, 5, 8, 11, you get the picture. To get one final look at the fight, let's put all of this together and see what it looks like with each mark going out. At mark 1, we see our first healer group move. At mark 2, the second healer group. At 3 marks, we see the last healer group move and the tank and DPS switch, with the grip on Thane making sure that they are stacked up to spread out the meteor damage. Then we run the same thing back for marks 4 and 5 with the healers moving, and then at 6, the tank and DPS rotate, only this time to the opposite boss. Do this until Thane and Mograine go down and switch up to Lady B and Sir Zeliek. On the switch, the healers can keep doing the rotation every mark, or swap to a rotation like the DPS and tanks and switch every 3 marks. Just make sure you know what you're doing before it happens. Big reminder for the melee DPS to not go in and attack Sir Zeliek, because they'll just die and potentially wipe the raid by chaining that Holy Wrath. Also, make sure that you're dodging those void zones around Lady B. And that's about it. Rinse and repeat till the boss is dead. There you have it guys, the infamous Four Horsemen encounter in Naxxramas. This one will take a lot of practice, but keep at it and you'll get them down. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, come check me out live on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We've got a sweet community over there, drop in and say hi sometime. Also, please like this video if it helped you out, hit that subscribe button, and check out my other videos to support the channel.